Hold on to your butts. These are the Squashbuckler Diaries. Welcome back. My name is Guy Hasson, and you're listening to the Squashbuckler Diaries podcast, episode 128. And this is just the beginning. We are not even halfway through season 1 of, I can't tell you how many seasons there are. That would be a spoiler. Birth to death. And I can't tell you when the end comes. It's gonna come sometime, but we are just in the beginning. And yes, everything is planned. We are covering Joy's life. Joy is the girl who lives in her father's dreams. She lives in dreams. Right now, she lives in her father's dreams. At age 6, not a spoiler, she will, because you need to know what you're in for. At age 6, she will discover that she is in a dream, and she will find a way to get to the other dreams. By the way, speaking of, I keep telling you there are Easter eggs everywhere. There have been Easter eggs telling you what the way out is. The way out of the dream has already been mentioned more than once. Can you find it? I will not tell you what it is. Anyway, I will not talk a lot this time. We are covering her life. What is it like to be in the dream, to grow up in the dream? And we have seen Justin, aka Dragonfather, trying to teach her science and failing miserably because the dream is different. And now and today we're going to see another aspect of what is it like to grow up in a dream. So let's begin. Episode 128, The Earth is Round, Part 5, The South Pole. Joy's age 4.5, told by the Red Dragon. "Ahoy!" Dragonfather yelled. "We reached the South Pole!" The South Pole Dragonfather gave Mars in his dream was full of ice and ice craters, massive glaciers. And the truth is, now that it existed, some great hiding places for dragons, such as myself, within massive ice tunnels. Both Dragonfather and Dragon Little were now excited. It had been a long day for them, first trying to go around the Earth and failing, and now going to Mars, to prove that Mars is round not only from above, but also from the surface. It was quite a long day for them, and both were tired. But now Dragonfather and Dragon Little were excited to be on the cusp of proving the other wrong. They looked outside even as Bonny's revenge sped past the glaciers. "Any minute now," Dragonfather shouted against the wind. "The South Pole will be left behind and will be moving north towards the warmer surface. Eventually we'll get to the North Pole, go around it, and then back to where we started." Dragon Little shook her head. "You'll see." The ship sped forward, but the ice glaciers only got colder and higher. It took them an hour to get to the South Pole from Mars's equator, but now they've been going for half an hour and it had only gotten colder. "That's so strange," Dragonfather mumbled to himself. He then shrugged and flew faster. "Let's keep going!" The glaciers got higher and there were more ice tunnels below them, even as another hour passed. "I told you!" Dragon Little shouted at him. She had tested out the surface of the oceans of Mars and of all the planets that remained behind when he disappeared. But he did not know that, nor apparently did she think to tell him. A giant ice castle appeared before them. Dragonfather slowed the ship to a halt. They both looked. "Who is that?" he whispered. 10 floating ice ships emerged from the ice castle, flying towards them at top speed. "It's the Martian space pirates!" Dragon Little jumped up and down, happy for adventure. The Martian space pirates were some of the only villains they had failed to defeat. These were villains that remained behind even after Dragonfather left, for they had fought them before. They were thirsty for pirate blood because Dragonfather and Dragon Little had thwarted their plans many times. Get ready, Joy, Dragonfather said. We're going to kick some villain butts after all. He ran towards the helm. Kicking villain butts. Joy jumped up and down and repeated this as if it was a song. Kicking villain butts. Kicking villain butts. She looked back at the helm. Dragonfather was gone. He had disappeared. Or, as she would no doubt find out when she is older, he had woken up. It had been a long day for him in the dream, after all. Oh, she said. She looked at the 10 ships. They are still coming after her. She ran to the helm and turned the ship around. Kicking villain butts! Kicking villain butts! Kicking villain butts! Kicking villain butts! Tomorrow I will tell you more about her adventure alone against the Martian space pirates. Told by the Red Dragon. Hashtags Joy, Justin, Science, Mars, Martian space pirates. And so we see once again that Joy's life isn't perfect. There are actual villains actually remaining behind when her father wakes up. Not one villain ready to go to jail, which happens often, but many space pirates, dangerous space pirates. And she's a 4.5-year-old girl, and he's not there to protect her. And his dream, his subconscious may not protect her in his dream. So, as much as she enjoys kicking villains' butts, that may be a problem, and that is very dangerous. She's only 4.5 years old. So let's see tomorrow what happens. But this is the life of a future heroine, Joy Shelley, the girl who lives in dreams. And now, the credits. The Squashbuckler Diaries are written and read by me, Guy Hasson. All the tags mentioned in this story are searchable at the website. You can find all the stories there in written form and, in fact, 150 Squashbuckler Diaries more. The Squashbuckler Diaries is the diary of Joy Shelley, the girl who lives in dreams. She'll be called the Forgotten Girl by her father. She'll be a true heroine. She'll change the world. This project shows her entire life from birth to death. Check out the website at guyhasson.com. That's GUYHASSON.com. I've been an author and a playwright for more than 30 years, and this is the first time I've used the guyhasson.com website, because The Girl in the Dream is my life project. If you have questions, if you want to comment, please do. You can comment at the website or email me at guyhasson@gmail.com. That's GUYHASSON, GUYHASSON @gmail.com. The theme music is called Brass Gentleman and is created by Thomas Howardek. My name is Guy Hasson, and this is my life project. Come back tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow for more. Floating ice ships emerged from 10 floating ice ships emerged in 10 floating ice ships emerged 10 float so as much as she kicking villain butts.